Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, depending on where you are. It's me, David Carr, founder and editor of the Herald newsletter, coming to you from downtown Belgrade, the capital of the world. In this video, the Gaza ceasefire. Has it held? Will it hold? What are the long-term prospects for peace? Let's get on with it. So a few days ago, I uploaded a short to my shorts channel about the Gaza ceasefire, and I opined in that video that there may be a ceasefire, but the prospects for long-term peace are really very dim because these two tribes can't live together. And a long-term peace requires that they do in some way. I don't see how it's going to happen. However, there was a ceasefire. However, again, redux, the ceasefire appears to have been broken several times. First of all, on Sunday, well, I'm going to read straight from the Guardian report. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency and hospitals said a series of Israeli airstrikes across the territory killed at least 45 people on Sunday, updating an earlier toll of 33. The Israeli military said it had struck dozens of Hamas targets across the Gaza Strip as Israel and Hamas accused each other of violating the 9-day-old ceasefire brokered by Trump. At least 45 people were killed as a result of Israeli airstrikes on various areas of the Gaza Strip. Mahmoud Bassal, spokesperson for the Civil Defense Agency, which operates as a rescue service under Hamas authority, told AFP. 4 hospitals in Gaza confirmed the death toll to AFP, saying they had received the dead and wounded. Going on, it gives details of the people who've been killed. Now, so it seems like quite a heavy action by Israel in breach of the ceasefire, but Israel claims that Hamas was in breach of the ceasefire by attacking and killing 2 Israeli soldiers. As always, there's claim and counterclaim here, and it's impossible to know who's right, who's wrong, who said what, who's done what. But the point is the ceasefire broke down. Now, as of today, the ceasefire has been resumed again. And today being the 21st, the 20th of October. I'm actually recording this, it's now the early hours of the 21st of October in Central Europe. So as of Monday, the 20th of October, the ceasefire has been resumed. How long will it last? And I think the real problem here is that I just don't see how a long-term peace deal is going to happen. The ceasefire may hold, but how is a long-term deal going to happen? And I say this for 2 reasons. First of all, it seems to me that the Israeli strategic aim, at least the aim of this Israeli government, hasn't really changed. And their aim, it seems to be clear what their aim is that they want to move the Palestinians out of Gaza to God knows where. I don't know, where are they going to go? I don't know, the South Pole, the moon, somewhere. They're going to move them, they want to move them somewhere. Then they want to move Israelis into Gaza, and then they want to annex it, and it will become part of Israel, and they'll probably build a few new towns there, and maybe some industrial infrastructure for the Tamar gas fields, which just off the coast in the Mediterranean. And also possibly a resort for holidaymakers with a Trump casino and mini golf. Anyway, that all may happen in due course, but I think the Israelis want it to happen. And the second thing is The peace agreement, or the ceasefire agreement, refers to the reconstruction of Gaza in due course, once things have settled down. Well, if people are going to stay there, then it will need reconstruction. However, any reconstruction materials and money that pours into Gaza will end up in the hands of Hamas. And of course, Hamas will use that money and those materials, principally the money, to rebuild their army and to recruit new foot soldiers and buy new weapons. And the Israelis know this. I don't think they're ever going to allow it for this simple reason. They're not going to want to go through this again. Now, all this may seem unduly weighted towards the Israelis because it is. I think for those reasons that the Israelis are never really going to sign a peace deal. And Hamas may want a peace deal, but it's not possible. You have to have two parties to agree. And I don't think they will. Also, again, Hamas have to abolish themselves for a peace agreement. They're not going to do that. And if all this seems harsh, and it is harsh, really, what Hamas did was stupid. You don't attack a superior military power unless you have the backing of a superpower. Well, Hamas didn't have the backing of anyone, and they were deluded enough to think that with 5,000 men, they were going to conquer Israel. Well, this is the price the Israelis chimped out. And not only have Hamas been severely depleted now, but also Hezbollah has, Syria has been effectively taken over by the West, and the Israelis have pushed into Syria and taken more territory. The Houthis have been neutralized, and Iran has as well to some extent. All of that because Hamas attacked Israel on the 7th of October. They've kind of lost everything, which was a stupid move. Anyway, in the absence, I believe, in the absence of a superpower stepping in on the side of the Palestinians, then the Israelis are going to get what they want because there's no block on them. There's nothing to stop them. The Israelis have got escalation dominance. So I think they'll get what they want. And I think we will eventually see the Palestinians ethnically cleansed out of Gaza, and Gaza will be turned into an Israeli playground. I think that's what will happen. How long will that take? I don't know. But I think that's the end result. Okay, on that note, you've listened to me for long enough. Thank you for doing so if you're still here. Please subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified when I upload my next full-length video or short, which will be very soon. In the meantime, thank you for listening. And wherever you are, have a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening.